Hello YouTube. What's new? I know it's been a while. Sorry. So what's new with me? I live in Texas, so I'm assuming, unless you're living under a rock, you know what's going on. We are in a polar vortex. It's one of the worst I've seen. The last time I've seen like snow and ice this bad, I lived in Lubbock, which is typical with snow, even though it's a desert. So it's stressful. So yeah, that's what's new with me. Not much going on. I've signed up for the July bar exam, which I'm grateful for because I feel so bad for the February takers dealing with everything. And that's what this video is about. So before I get into the video, I want to introduce myself. My name is Lauren. I am retaking the bar exam for the upteenth time, not really, but like multiple times. And I'm putting that journey on the internet so the stigma around the bar exam and not passing it the first time can A, go away, but also now to hopefully get rid of the thing because it's racist and gatekept. It gatekeeps the profession. So yeah. So it also doesn't test competency, just in case you were wondering. Alright, so like I said, I live in Texas. Texas right now, if you don't know, is having one of the worst cold snaps it's ever had. Millions are without power. I personally am not affected by it, but my sister is actually staying at our house right now because her house didn't have power. And yeah, that's just how my family is being affected, but we have it easy. My family, I'm very lucky that we still have power. I cannot say the same for others, and I cannot say the same for others who are also taking a test next week where power is like required because it's an online test. But also the energy companies have not given a deadline for when power will be back. Many people in Texas, I'm from the Dallas area, many people in Texas do not have a timeline and have been without power for multiple days now. And if they have gotten power, it's usually been for like maybe 30 minutes to 4 hours to 6 hours. There's no way of telling. So if you're wondering, why are you talking about this? Well, first of all, if you want like a full in-depth reason as to why this is so bad and why Texans are like freaking out about it, you can go watch D'Angelo Wallace's video. I will link that in the description below. But basically it explains we're not prepared. We are not northern states. Not only that, but when it snows here, because of how polarizing Texas's weather is, we get black ice very easily. Because all the snow will melt during the day and then it will refreeze during the night. If I had there was a wreck in Fort Worth on like the first day that this happened. I had a friend from England who messaged me and she was like, "Mate, you okay?" And I was like, "I'm good. Haven't left my house in years, it feels like." But that's the kind of danger it is. Like, we can salt our roads, we can sand our roads, but that doesn't negate the problem. We don't have snow plows here. We are not a snow state. The first time I ever saw a snow plow was on a trip I probably shouldn't have been making because it was still dangerous, but I think I was maybe a sophomore in college, and we had a really bad blizzard in Lubbock that moved to Dallas, and then the day I was leaving, then it like left Lubbock, so it was like 70 degrees, and then another cold snap was coming through, and I left that morning and I was trying to get ahead of the next cold snap that was happening. That's the first time I ever saw a snowplow. A snowplow was on those roads out in the country. So if you're wondering where Lubbock is, it's the panhandle of Texas. So you know the little stick part? It's in that area. That's the first time I ever saw a snowplow. I love dogs. I love dogs. I love dogs. Anyways, please don't mind my dogs. We have 5 of them in the house because my sister brought heard 2 dogs here. So yeah, also we're with the original angle of these videos because it's snowing. It's not snowing right now, but there's snow outside, the sun is shining, so like light is amazing. Alright, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of why I'm really making this video, and that is we need to like do something because the Texas Board of Law examiners and other Board of Law examiners are not doing anything to stop the bar exam with people out of power. For example, in Tennessee, they were told that if you currently are without power, send an email to the Tennessee Board of Law examiners or call them. Don't know how you can call as soon as possible when you don't have power, but okay. They make some provisions for like if you're located in Tennessee and stuff. They also say please call or email as soon as your power is restored, which like kind of contradicts the first point, but okay. And then it says if you wish to withdraw from the exam because you do not have power, you can get a refund. So in Tennessee, it seems like from this message, and I'm only reading a little bit of it, and I will link it down below. From this message, it seems like your only options are to take the exam. If you lose power, you need to call them as soon as possible, but there's no like there's no instructions for what happens like if you lose power from this screenshot. There's no instructions for what happens if you lose power during the exam, only that if you lose power to contact as soon as possible. Or what if you don't have power at the beginning of the exam? Like, it's not just if you lose it during the exam. What if you don't have power, period? So, there's that. Or you can withdraw. Those are like the options in Tennessee. And I'm not gonna lie, those are some of the same options that we have here in Texas. Now, I'm bringing up Texas because it's kind of important to know that the software that the exam is being held on has its headquarters in Texas. And guess what? They are half-staffed. I don't know what their staff capacity was in October, but I can guarantee you it wasn't full capacity considering how long some people were on wait. But that was in October, which was supposed to be a July exam. Remember, the Board of Law examiners do not have a good history of, how should I put this? Having contingency plans for if things go wrong. And this is the second exam in a row that things have gone wrong during. I am worried for July. Anyways, so ExamSoft isn't prepared for this. They may lose power, who knows? So let's talk more specifically about Texas because that's where I am, that's what I'm caring about, and why I'm making this video. There's a petition going around, a petition to the Supreme Court of Texas to basically do something more than what they are doing right now, which is a load of jack. They're not doing anything. And let me tell you, looking at one of the justices' responses, all he's doing is like quoting, like when people bring up valid points, all he's doing is quoting, like linking them to a previous thread he made, which doesn't answer the questions that they're posing. So, and he's our liaison. And I'm going to read what his thread is, which is basically not great. So, yeah. But, basically what this petition is it's going, you should be in the legal profession to sign it. You can be a law student, you can be, a graduate like myself, you can be a lawyer, but it is preferred that you are in the legal profession. So if you're not, I'm sorry, you can't sign it. But if you know someone who is in the legal profession, please circulate it. Maybe send this to Legal Eagle and maybe he'll actually make a video about this, because Lord knows he hasn't done anything to help his viewers who are in law school or not in law school who watch him to get advice. He's done nothing during this bar exam fiasco for both July and October and now February. And it's very disappointing because he's one of the prominent legal channels. So I wish he would actually do something like, take a stance, dude. Anyways. So what this petition is basically asking for is that the Texas Supreme Court postpone the exam date at least a week until sufficient confirmation is given that all applicants have had their power restored. I will link this petition below so you can read the whole thing. But yeah, it's not looking good. One of the quotes from a person I follow on Twitter about this whole thing, her name is Liz. The bar exam is not an inevitability. It is something that the people in charge have ample power to cancel and or change. Not doing so is their choice. No one's hands are tied here, and the fact that they're not doing it now shows that they don't want to get blamed for waiting too long to do something. They don't want to look like the bad guy. Well, newsflash, they're already looking like the bad guy by making all these excuses. So, Liz, thanks for that quote. I will also leave that down in the description below so you can see it because it's a pretty good quote. Also, I should know that this whole update is happening a week before the February exam. So Texas is like, yeah, they're not doing anything basically. All right, so this is the thread from Justice Busby. He's on the Supreme Court, and this is what he is telling applicants via the Board of Law Examiners. And I'll also summarize what the Board of Law Examiners have said. So he says, the board and court recognize that many applicants are facing long weather-related outages, as many are. Here's an update and options the board is offering to help, including a makeup. 1. The February 22nd and 23rd exam is part of a uniform national bar exam, the UBE, that will be given remotely as scheduled. For those without power who would like to take next week's exam at a hotel, the board will reimburse for $250. For those unable to take the exam next week, a makeup remote exam for Texas admission only will be offered in coming weeks subject to board approval. For those who prefer to take the exam in July, the board will transfer your registration. And then he links what the BLE says. So let me summarize this. So basically, the UBE is going to happen no matter what. And they're not going to do anything about it. Great. If you don't have power, they're going to reimburse you for up to $250. However, the thing is with hotels, they're being price gouged right now because everybody is trying to get hotels with heat and power. And second, not all hotels have heat and power. $250 ain't going to do anything, especially when you have to be there for at least 2 days. What remedy is that? It's not one. It's not a remedy. For those unable to take the bar exam next week, a remote, okay, number 3 is where it really gets me. So, not only has Texas moved to the UBE, but now they're being like, oh, you can take a Texas-only option, meaning your score won't be transferable. The whole point of a UBE is so you can go to different states and practice law. That's the whole point of the UBE, basically. And now they're saying we're going to go back to a Texas-focused bar exam. Only if the board approves it, which means they might not. And because it's the Texas Board of Law Examiners, they probably aren't because they are so bad. However, they may because they want money, which is just my opinion. But why? Like, why do that? No one's going to take that option. And if somebody does, please message me and tell me how that goes. It's such a bad option. It's a different exam. It's not the UBE. It's not what you have been studying for 3 months or more. It's a complete, it can't be, the score can't be transferred unless you petition the other states to allow it to happen, which is what you have to do anyways for Texas for the Texas thing unless you want to take another bar exam. Anyways, or you can transfer to July, which means another 6 months of studying. So let me tell you something. So I took the February bar exam last year, and I started studying around March, May for the July exam, and then it was pushed to August because I was forced to sign up late because of when they gave results for the February exam. So I was pushed to August or September, one of the two. I don't remember. It's all kind of fuzzy, but if you watch my videos, you know which one I was pushed to. And then we were all pushed to October. Unless you wanted to take the in-person one, which I didn't want to do because at that time I was nervous about the pandemic, and I still am kind of, Anyways, so I know what it's like to have to push your exam date forward and study for a good portion of the year, and I think most examinees that are actually taking it this time around, because let me tell you, the pass rates weren't good in Texas, know what that's like. It's not fun, it's not fair, it's not equitable. You are asking us to study for over 6 months. That's not okay. You didn't have to do that when you took the bar exam. Like, where is this fair? Also, like, how is this? There's just so many problems with it. I don't understand. Not to mention with all the issues with lawyers in the country right now, if you know, you know, the bar exam doesn't weed out bad lawyers. It doesn't test for competency. You can still have bad lawyers who pass the bar exam. That's why it's a problem, along with a lot of other reasons. So that's what Justice Busby said. Let's look at the actual announcement from the Texas Board of Law Examiners. And yes, I'm reading off my laptop just in case you were wondering what I'm doing looking to the side here. So basically, it says the same thing. However, they do say, if you have no power next week and need to take the exam until we will reimburse you, message your analyst. Don't know how you can message your analyst when you have no power. Okay, cool. Because everything, like, when you message your analyst, everything has to be done online. You can't just, like, whip out your phone and email them. It's through the portal on the Texas Board of Law Examiners website. So, you can see the problems. If you lose internet connection during the exam session, you will be able to continue working until you finish that section. You just have to do normal online stuff. Basically, if you lose internet connection, that's fine. You just have to have internet connection when you upload it, which is wishy-washy at best, and I don't believe it. You need to have internet connection the whole time. Yeah, the UBE will be administered as normally. You can defer to July 2021, but you have to message your analyst. They are offering a makeup exam in the coming weeks in a form to be determined. So you have a couple weeks to study for an exam that they don't even have a test for. Does that stun you? Does that make you angry? Because it should. The way they are treating examinees who are JDs, every person who takes the bar exam has a JD. The way they are treating JDs, future attorneys, is despicable. This should anger you. What they are doing to us should anger you. It should have angered you in October, and if it didn't then, it should now. Calming. It's absolutely ridiculous that they are continuing to do this because they have to have the exam. They don't have to have the exam. They want the money. That's my opinion. But they want the money because they make a lot of money from these exams. The fact that they will do anything to continue to push it is ridiculous, and it shows what their ultimate goal is. It's not about competency. It's not about weeding out bad lawyers. It's not about the test. It is about in my opinion, it is about the money they can make from it. That is why they continuously offer options to take the test, to push the test, to do anything with the test, except for cancel it. When people have no power, when people are freezing, when people can't even drive their cars because of ice and snow. $250 is not going to cut it for a hotel right now. This plan is ridiculous, and you should be angry. And if you're angry about it, what you can do is sign the petition that I'm putting in the description box below. I'm also going to put it in the pinned comment. So, yeah, the February bar exam is still happening, and you should be upset. So, that's all I got for you today. I'm sorry that this was the first video back in a while. But yeah, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can leave those in the comments below. If you like what you saw, you can like the video. Get this pushed through to people so people can see it. Engagement is really important in the YouTube algorithm. You can also subscribe if you want to see more from me. If you have any ideas for any future videos, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you later. Bye!